Hi there, my name is Mari, and I wanted to do a tutorial for Salut, Printemps by Debussy. I'm doing this in two parts. The first part will just be on vowel formation, since that is such a big part of getting the sounds right in French. So I've created this chart today. A, E, I, O, U have lots of different possibilities in French. So the first one is the A with the circumflex is your typical aw sound, like the word all, which is actually very rare in French. Number two will be the letter A or the letter A with a grave accent. That would just be ah, which is not really a sound we have in English. It's very common in German and Spanish as well. So if you can say tacos, not tacos, but tacos, then you can make that ah sound. Most A's in French are going to be pronounced that way. Number three, you have the vowel combination AI, which sometimes has circumflex, and then the letter E with a grave accent or the circumflex. And that is your open eh sound, like pet or debt. And then you have the letter E with an acute accent, which looks like going forward. This is very important. It's a closed E sound, which is A. We don't really have this in English because anytime that sound happens, it always occurs as a diphthong, like the word paper, pay, or cave, A. There's always a diphthong. So if you cut off the second part of that sound, A, you're just left with A, which is very common in German and very common in French. The example I put here is the word chaos, because I think that's the closest example in English where the A is not diphthongized. That's a very important distinction to make between your your open, and your closed A. And then you have number five, I put here just the letter E. So in the French alphabet, the letter E is pronounced E. When they go through the alphabet, it's A, B, C, D, E. So this letter is just a schwa sound, but it is formed with the lips, rounded. And this is very, very important because you're going to be singing this sound a lot, since a lot of words end with the letter E. I put here UH like huh or but with round lips, Number six, I have the letter I and the letter Y. In 99% of cases, this is just E, which is typical for Latin languages. Number seven, just the letter O in French is pronounced very open. Oh, which is, again, not a sound we really have in English. Maybe dialects of English have something like that. I couldn't think of an example. But if you can say O and open, oh, then you're going to get that sound. The letter O, when you see just the letter O in French, it's open. Number eight, AU or O with the little circumflex. That is your closed O, which is not a sound we have in American English. I put here like koala, because when you say koala, it gets your lips engaged. Ko-o. That's really what we're looking for. But like the sound A, anytime we have O, in English, American English, we diphthongize it with a W sound at the end, like bow or throw. There's no W sound at the end of that. It's just O. Number nine is what we call the mixed vowel. The O and the E together. So I want you to think open O and open and you get You're going to pronounce it like an but you're going to round your lips like O. So And the example I give to my students is usually earth, the way we sing the word earth is more like earth. I would just argue that when you do that, you have to really, really engage your lips because it's not very intuitive for American English speakers to go And then number 10, we have EU, which is another mixed vowel. It's mixed of E, which is a closed sound, with another closed sound, oo. Say E with your lips in a oo position, you get U, which is very similar to O with 2 dots in German. U. In the IPA, it's an O with a little slash, whereas the open one is just the OE morph, simple. And then the letter U, or U with the circumflex. In French, this is very important. In the same way they pronounce the letter E, the letter U in French is pronounced E. Pay careful attention because it's not an oo sound at all. The temptation is going to always pronounce it oo. It's actually closer to E. So if you say E, but then round your lips, you get E. That's how you get the U sound. It's closer to E than it is to oo. But in French, you do have that oo sound, but it's always written OU, which is the next example. And that is your pure Latin oo that you have in IPA, whereas the E is with the Y symbol. Oo, E, And for an example, this is what I use with all my students. It works like a charm because everybody knows how to say ooh la la. Now that word, you're gonna have to engage your lips to make ooh. No one wants ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh. It has to be this way because this is not something that is naturally occurring in American English. We don't make that sound ooh. The next 4 vowels are the nasal vowels. So anytime you see A-N, E-N, A-M, and E-M, you're going to pronounce that like an aw, but nasal. And I wrote here as an example, it's similar to the word song, the O-N-G. When you say song, think about the sound that happens between the O and the NG. Song, That's where the ah is. Song, If you say song, that's the word for without. The next one, I-N, I-M, A-I-N and A-I-M, and E-I-N and E-I-M. And this one's the that's nasalized and pronounced okay? A lot of Americans mispronounce this as ah. It's not ah. You say apple, it has nothing to do with that sound. Think like pet or jet, but you're going to put in your nose. I put here, it's similar to the word pen in English. Pen, if you can think of the sound that happens between the E and the N. Pen, pen, It's not ah, it's And then the next one, O-M or O-N, is that same O sound, but nasal. And I put similar to the word comb in English. Of course, we have O with a diphthong, so watch for that. Comb, comb, And then 16, which is the last vowel, 16 vowels in French, yay, U-N or U-M, is this mixed vowel, mixed O and E for okay? But nasalized. And the example I gave, I wrote similar to rung, R-U-N-G. So the sound that happens between the U and the N-G. Rung, That pretty much gets you there. So I hope this was helpful. You will see these symbols all over part 2 that I'm about to make.